The Lion King saga is filled with mysteries, but one of the most enigmatic questions centers around Zira. What fueled her unyielding devotion to Scar? Why did she lead the Outlanders into exile, sacrificing everything for her cause? What if the answer lies in a lion from the past? A figure so compelling, so driven, that his legacy shaped not just Zira, but the destiny of the Pride Lands itself. Long before Scar's rise, the Pride Lands basked in a golden age under King Ahadi's rule. The sun-drenched savanna stretched endlessly, a sanctuary where herds thrived and harmony reigned. Yet, as with all peaceful kingdoms, the winds of change carried whispers of something that would alter its fate forever. One sweltering afternoon, during a relentless drought that turned rivers into cracked earth, a shadow appeared on the horizon. A long rain followed by the scratched earth. A shadow appeared on the horizon. It was a lion, but not just any lion. His frame, though worn from travel, exuded raw power. His mane was an untamed storm, dark as the deepest caves, and his eyes, two smoldering orbs of molten gold, burned with an intensity that made even the bravest lions falter. As Kuro approached the Pride Lands borders, the sentinels who spotted him froze in place. His movements were deliberate, each step heavy with purpose. Though his ribs showed faintly through his tawny coat, his gait was confident, almost regal, as if the savanna itself bowed beneath his paws. Whispers spread like wildfire through the pride.
Who is he?
A young lioness asked, her voice barely above a whisper.
Eyes. It doesn't look like he's here for peace.
Another muttered, eyeing his wild mane and piercing gaze. When Kuro reached the edge of the pride's territory, he didn't lower his head in submission, as was customary for outsiders. Instead, he stood tall, his gaze unwavering, as King Ahadi approached, flanked by his most trusted warriors.
You've crossed into my lands,
Ahadi said, his voice calm but firm, the weight of his authority evident. Kuro met his gaze without hesitation.
I seek refuge,
he said simply. His voice was deep and gravelly, carrying the weight of untold stories.
My homeland is lost to drought, and I have wandered far. Your Pride Lands are strong, I can see that. I have no intention of challenging your rule, only of surviving.
Ahadi studied him carefully. The king was a lion of great wisdom, and though he sensed danger in Kuro, he also saw potential.
You speak plainly, but strength without loyalty can be a threat. Why should I trust you?
Kuro's lips curved into a faint smile, a hint of amusement in his expression.
Because a lion who seeks survival doesn't waste his energy on futile battles. Allow me to stay and I'll prove my worth. I can patrol your borders, defend your pride, and teach your cubs what it means to endure.
Though Ahadi remained wary, he nodded.
You may stay for now, but if you disrupt the balance of this land, you'll leave as quickly as you came.
From that moment, Kuro's presence became a ripple in the still waters of the Pride. He was quiet, observant, and always kept to himself, yet his every action seemed deliberate, calculated. He moved like a shadow through the tall grass, watching the Pride as if piecing together its strengths and weaknesses. Among those who noticed Kuro most keenly was Uru, the queen of the Pride and Ahadi's mate. Uru was no ordinary lioness. Her keen intelligence and unmatched skill as a hunter made her a cornerstone of the Pride's success. But it wasn't just Kuro's strength that caught her attention. It was his mind. One evening, as the Pride rested by the dwindling waterhole, Uru found herself drawn to where Kuro sat alone, staring at the horizon. His dark silhouette against the fading sun was both imposing and enigmatic.
You've been watching us.
She said, her voice cutting through the quiet. Kuro turned his head slightly, his golden eyes locking onto hers.
And what have you seen, Uru?
He replied, her name rolling off his tongue like a challenge. Uru wasn't one to back down. She sat beside him, her gaze steady.
A lion who speaks of survival, but keeps his past hidden. A lion who studies others, but reveals little of himself. What are you looking for, Kuro?
Kuro was silent for a moment, his gaze returning to the horizon. When he spoke, his voice was low, almost a growl.
Weakness invites chaos. That's the first lesson I learned as a cub. And the pride lands. Your pride is strong now, but strength fades when leaders grow complacent. I watch because I've seen kingdoms fall, and I know how easily it happens.
His words unsettled Uru, but they also intrigued her. There was a harsh truth in his philosophy, a perspective born of experience.
You believe power is the only law that matters.
She said, her tone half question, half accusation. Kuro nodded.
Power ensures survival. Mercy and harmony, they're luxuries, not guarantees. Your king rules with wisdom, but wisdom alone doesn't keep the hyenas at bay.
Despite herself, Uru was drawn to his worldview. It was foreign and unsettling, but there was a clarity to it that she couldn't ignore. Over the following weeks, Uru found herself seeking Kuro out more often. Their conversations were sharp and challenging, each testing the other's beliefs. And though she never fully agreed with him, she couldn't deny the allure of his certainty, his conviction. Kuro, in turn, grew to respect Uru's strength, not just physical, but mental. She wasn't afraid to challenge him, to question his ideals. It was a rare quality, one he hadn't encountered in years. But beneath their growing bond, an undercurrent of tension lingered. Kuro's presence disrupted the delicate balance of the pride, and Uru knew it. Yet she couldn't help but wonder, was Kuro a threat, or a glimpse of something the Pride Lands would one day need? As the weeks passed, Uru and Kuro found themselves stealing moments together. Quiet conversations by the water hole under the moonlight, subtle glances during hunts. Kuro, for all his bluntness, revealed glimpses of vulnerability. After striking out, and without thinking, Kuro had revealed glimpses of vulnerability.
I wasn't always alone,
He confided one evening.
but kingdoms built on mercy crumble. I learned that the hard way.
And now you seek a kingdom built on fear?
Not fear, respect. The strong thrive, the weak perish. That is the way of the wild.
Uru couldn't deny the magnetism of his words, even as they unsettled her. She saw a lion, haunted by his past yet driven by an unrelenting vision. Their bond grew, and soon it was more than companionship. But Uru knew the risks of their secret. She was the queen, loyal to her mate and her pride. And Kuru's presence was a storm waiting to break. When Uru discovered she was carrying Kuru's cub, a whirlwind of emotions consumed her. She knew Kuro's ideology clashed with King Hadi's vision. What kind of lion would their offspring become? Would the cub inherit Kuro's fierce ambition, or something even darker? Before she could decide her next move, Kuro approached her with a proposition that would alter her fate forever.
Leave with me, Uru.
Kuro urged, his golden eyes blazing with intensity.
His kingdom is soft. Together we can build something greater, a pride that answers to no one.
But Uru, bound by duty and love for her pride, refused.
I can't abandon them, Kuro. I can't abandon my cub.
Heartbroken but determined, Kuro left the Pride Lands, vowing to return when he had created a kingdom worthy of his legacy. Months later, Uru gave birth to a single cub, a female with pale fur, sharp features, and piercing eyes. She named her Zira, a word from Kuro's homeland meaning hate, a stark reminder of the dangerous allure of bitterness and ambition. Zira grew up as an outsider within the pride. Smaller than the other cubs but far more cunning, she inherited her father's relentless drive and sharp instincts. Though Uru never revealed the truth about Kuro, Zira often overheard whispers about him. It was during a tense conversation between her mother and Scar that the pieces began to fall into place. "She's different, Uru," Scar said, his tone cold and calculating. "She doesn't belong here. You should have left with him when you had the chance." The name, him, lingered in Zira's mind. Who was this lion her mother had turned away from? Intrigued and eager to prove herself, Zira began to idolize Scar, seeing in him a reflection of the strength her mother had only hinted at. Years later, after Scar took the throne, Zira encountered a rogue lion in the Outlands. A lion with a graying mane and the same piercing golden eyes she saw in the reflection of her own. It was Kuro. "So, you're the daughter Uru kept from me," Kuro said, his voice laced with both pride and regret. Zira, stunned, listened as Kuro recounted his past. He spoke of his belief in strength as the ultimate law, his disdain for the soft rulers of the Pride Lands, and his sorrow at Uru's refusal to join him. "She was a lioness of great power, your mother, but she chose loyalty over freedom," Kuro said. "You, Zira, you're different. I see it in your eyes. You understand what it takes to survive." The meeting ignited a fire in Zira. She threw herself into Scar's cause, seeing it as the embodiment of her father's vision. But when Scar was overthrown and Simba reclaimed the throne, Zira's world fell apart. Exiled to the Outlands, she sought out Kuro once more. "They've taken everything from us," Zira said bitterly. "How do I reclaim what's mine?" Kuro's answer was blunt. You don't take it back. You build something stronger. Teach your cubs the strength we were denied. Let them rise above the weak." Zira heeded her father's advice, but her heart burned with vengeance. She raised her cubs, Nuka, Vitani, and Kovu, with Kuro's teachings and Scar's memory as their guiding stars. She trained Kovu to be the heir Scar never had, a lion who would one day restore their family's legacy. But deep within, Zira wrestled with doubt. Was her devotion to Scar and her father's ideals truly for justice? Or was she perpetuating the cycle of hatred that had torn her family apart? This is why the strange lion could be Zira's father, a shadow from the past whose ideals and choices shaped not just Zira, but the future of the Pride Lands. And so, the mystery of Zira's origins reveals a tale of power, ambition, and legacy. The strange lion Kuro may well hold the key to understanding her unyielding devotion to Scar and her relentless pursuit of the Pride Lands. Was Zira's path carved by destiny, or was it shaped by the teachings of a father she never truly knew? The echoes of Kuro's philosophy linger in every decision she made, and perhaps in every roar of the Outlanders. What do you think? Could Kuro truly be Zira's father? And how do you believe this revelation changes the story of the Pride Lands? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story captivated you, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more untold tales from the world of the Lion King and beyond. Your support helps us keep these incredible stories alive. Until next time, stay curious and remember, every roar has its reason.